Hi everyone, thanks for joining my scope. Hello to the replay viewers that are watching this scope, and hello to my live viewers. My name is Bay Yusuf and I'm the founder of the Entrepreneur's Nook. I'm a business strategist for creative entrepreneurs who are living their 9 to 5 lives while building their business on the side. And what I do is I help them to develop strategies in order for them to build a solid foundation in order for them to be profitable. And today's Saturday. I just wanted to come out here and just find out who's on Periscope right now, and also to give you a quick preview of a blog post I'm working on. And I just wanted to find out who's watching, where you're watching from, and just have a relaxed Periscope broadcast today, since it's a Saturday. So for anyone just joining, thank you for joining. My name is Bay Yusuf. I don't see any hearts. I don't see anyone joining. So I'm going to keep going with the hopes that somebody will join soon. So I'm working on I'm writing a blog post for my website, which is the www.entrepreneursnook.com, entrepreneursnook.com. So I post weekly. I publish weekly blog posts, and I also put up interviews. I'm currently running an interview series where I am interviewing emerging entrepreneurs who are sharing their stories, how they launched their business, their accomplishments, their struggles, and they leave with a word of wisdom for others who are considering going into entrepreneurship but are not sure. So that's quite interesting. And another thing I do is that I have a weekly newsletter which is called the Nook Notes, which I send out every Monday to my email subscribers. So if you're interested in receiving my weekly Nook Notes, feel free to sign up on the website as well. And my Nook Notes is pretty much me drawing business lessons from my everyday life. So that's what I share with my subscribers. So I'll quickly get into the blog post that I'm working on. Like I said, it's about the title of the blog post is why you should not quit your 9 to 5 job just yet. So I know that the goal for most entrepreneurs is for them to be able to leave their 9 to 5 job so that they could become full-time entrepreneurs. And I understand that, and it's really great. But for those of us that are still living that 9 to 5 life, what do we do? And should we go ahead and just quit and then focus on our businesses? And I'm just here to encourage anyone who's thinking about that, who's still working 9 to 5, to not quit just yet, because I have a few points to share, which will be on my blog post. One of the things I talk about is financial stability. So the goal is that you become your full-time entrepreneur so that it can replace your 9 to 5 income, replace and even surpass your 9 to 5 income, I would hope. And that's all good, but there are steps to being financially stable so that you can become that full-time entrepreneur, because we all know that launching a business requires some money. I'm not saying you need a whole lot of money, but you need some money. There are lots of apps that we're using, lots of productivity tools, and there are lots of tools out there to help make running a business smoother. And obviously we need to pay for that. So I talk about financial stability. And I also talk about learning from the corporate world, leveraging the knowledge that you're getting from the corporate world before quitting your 9 to 5. So there's a lot to learn, and take advantage of that. You learn as much as you can so that you can apply it to your own business, because there's a lot that corporations are doing in terms of engaging their clients, customer experience. So I might go into that. And I also talk about being prepared, just making sure that you're prepared in every sense of it. You're prepared mentally, you're prepared physically, you have a space in your home that you can use to run your business when you go full-time, or you rent an office, or there's a co-working sharing, co-working space that you can use. So you need to think about all that before you actually pull the plug on your 9 to 5. Be prepared, and then also as it applies to your family, children, taking them to school. Just be prepared. Next is I talk about checking your commitment, because it's easy to say you're a 9 to 5 entrepreneur. You have your 9 to 5 job, so you I would assume that you have a paycheck coming in, but the minute you go full time, that supply is cut off. And so you need to check your commitment with regards to being a full-time entrepreneur. You need to be sure that this is something that you're committed to. The business that you've been growing on the side is what you really want to do, because it'll be bad, or it will suck for you to get out of 9 to 5 only for you to find yourself back there again a couple of months later. So you want to make sure that you're fully committed to this, to being a full-time entrepreneur. And I also talk about start pulling profits in your business before you go full-time as an entrepreneur. So start to get some income, so at least you know that what you're doing. Oh, I'm seeing some hearts. Thank you very much. I can't tell who it is yet, and I don't see my comments, but thank you very much. Feel free to share this with your followers, with your friends, with your friendpreneurs, anyone that you think will benefit from this scope. So I was just talking about why you should not quit your 9 to 5 job just yet. Oh, hi. You know what? I now see why I couldn't see my comments. All I needed to do was to pull it up a little bit. Hi, Gertrude. Thanks for joining my scope. So I was working on a blog post, and I decided to come on Periscope to just give a preview of the blog post I'm working on. And so the title of the blog post I'm working on is Why You Should Not Quit Your 9 to 5 Job Just Yet. And this is for us. I call them I call myself and everyone who's working the 9 to 5 life 9 to 5 entrepreneurs. So I know there's a big push to get rid of your 9 to 5 job so that you can become a full-time entrepreneur. And as I was putting together my blog post, I came up with some points, and I just wanted to give a preview so that when I publish it, that you and any other person watching it will be able to read it. So I talked about, I'll just quickly give you a quick summary, because you joined towards the end of the points that I was explaining. So I talked about financial stability, being financially stable in order to quit your 9 to 5 job. I talked about learning from the corporate world, leveraging the knowledge that you get from the corporate world. The corporate world is doing a lot of good things in terms of customer experience, organizational behavior. And these are things that you can scale down into your own business. So I talk about learning from corporate world. And I also talk about being prepared in every sense of the word, with regards to your family dynamics, having a space where once you go from being a 9 to 5 entrepreneur to being a full-time entrepreneur, you either have a space within your home, there's a co-working space that you can go and work. You have all that, all those things taken care of before you leave your 9 to 5 job. Another thing I talk about is checking your commitment, like how committed are you to being a full-time entrepreneur? Because I know that as a 9 to 5 entrepreneur, you're getting a paycheck. So there's still a little bit of comfort, but checking your commitment to make sure that once that supply is cut off, this is a business that you're committed to building, so that you don't find yourself jumping out of being a full-time jumping out of your 9 to 5 only for you to get back in a couple of months. And I think you joined when I started to talk about pulling profits in your business. So one of the other points I make is start to pull profits in your business before you ditch your 9 to 5. And stable income, if I may add, is start getting to a groove where you're pulling in some profits, you're making money, and you know how your business works before you fully you become a full-time entrepreneur. And the last point I'm going to share, which is the 6th point, is Don't be pressured. Don't feel like you have to do it. You know, you need to be in a space where you're ready to leave your 9 to 5 job. You know, don't feel the pressure of this new movement, which is great every by all means, but you know, everyone saying, oh, I left my 9 to 5 job and I was able to triple my 9 to 5 income. I totally believe that's possible, but don't feel the pressure to don't be pressured into doing it just yet, just right now. You know, make sure that it's something that you're fully prepared for. So I'm still working on my blog post, but I just wanted to come out here to share some of these points with you, with my viewers. I was hoping that there'll be more people on this scope so that I could get a little bit more of an engagement, but I also realize it's kind of late. So I'm just going to say thank you for joining my scope. Thank you, Gertrude, for being the only viewer watching my broadcast at this time. And I look forward to getting back on Periscope and sharing more tips about being a 9 to 5 entrepreneur. So take care and have a nice weekend. Bye.